Hey there, YouTubers. Luis. Hope everybody's doing well. I got a topic for you that I've been wanting to do and I have failed to do so. It's a good topic for those who are just getting into the business or those that want to know what they should carry in their tow trucks. It's come up time and time again on what I carry in my tow truck, so I said, you know what? It's a little slow today. Perfect time to do this video, and I need to organize my truck a little bit. So it gave me a reason to pull everything out and lay it out so that you guys and girls can see what I carry in my tow truck. Mind you, this is pretty much, it depends on your preference and how prepared you like to be. It could also depend on the region that you live in. Currently I'm in New York State. I can say that, we're at the foot of the mountains. So, what I carry in my truck might differ from something that you might carry in, let's say, the state of Florida. So, region does play a huge part into what you're going to carry in your truck. And like I said, this is just an example of what I like to carry. I tend to carry more than most, especially these days, since I'm primarily using my record to do most of the calls. Actually, all of the calls. I don't have a flatbed on the road right now, and it looks like it's going to stay like that until I move to a different state. So I tend to carry more than I should. Like I said, since this is the only truck that I'm running, I like to be prepared to tow pretty much anything that I encounter. And very rarely do I turn down a job because I can't do it. And in the next part of the video, I'm going to have all the stuff that I carry laid out so you guys and girls can see what I do carry. And mind you, some of you are going to think that it's a little overboard, but like I said, I like to be prepared for anything that gets thrown at me. And some of the stuff that you're going to notice that I do carry, they don't stay in the truck year round. I tend to throw these individual tools in there during the winter months, but I have them laid out anyway so that most of you can see. We're going to cover stuff on for recovery use, tire changes that I carry, and and anything else that we as tow providers offer as a service. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so this is the second part of our video. This is an exploded view of pretty much everything that I carry in my wrecker. I wish I can carry more, but unfortunately I don't have a tunnel box, and these Jordan MPL 30s self-loaders don't have really big toolboxes. So I try to, especially during the spring and summer months, I try to cut back on what I carry. And in the winter months, I carry a little bit more. And, if it doesn't fit in the toolbox, I keep it in the cab. I do run a four-door crew cab, so I do have the room inside. But this is pretty much what I do carry in the spring and summer months. So as you can see here, we've got everything from recovery work to your lockout stuff, tire changes, fuel delivery, jump starts. For the recovery stuff, as you can see over here, I got quite a variety of straps, and these are straps that I carry all year round, and they range everywhere from 6 feet to 8 feet to 10 feet. The yellow ones are a higher rating than the green ones. I believe the yellow ones, depending on how you use them, are up to 11,900 pounds, and the green ones are up to, I think, 10,000 pounds, depending on how you use it. I keep different lengths, for different applications, of course. The yellow ones I tend to use on anything, any pickup truck or anything bigger than a pickup truck that I need to pull out. I like to keep 2 of each, and in the event I have to use both lines, I have 2 straps for each line, wire rope on the truck. These ones right here, I don't really use them for recovery. These primarily are used if I have to winch off of a tree. They're 3 inches wide, and they don't cause any damage to the tree, and they're long enough where they wrap around most trees. If I have an issue wrapping around it, I usually just combine the both of them and hook them up to a shackle there. Right now, I only have one shackle shown, but I tend to carry 4. The other 3 are in the truck. Another thing here is I like to carry usually 4 4-ton snatch blocks. Right now I only have 3. The other one's out of commission because the sheave ended up seizing up on me. So right now we only have 3. But I like the 4 tons because they can cover pretty much most scenarios that you come across with in light duty towing. A lot of guys only carry 1. I like to carry more than I need in the event I have to run lines at all types of different angles, or if it's a big load, I like to double up, triple up, quadruple up on my lines to take away from, to take the load off the equipment. Over here, these are actually called Scotch blocks. I keep these in the truck all year round. They get used in the nice weather, from time to time, but primarily in the winter, especially I have to park on ice. All it is pretty much a wheel chock, and you hook a chain to the eyelet there, and you pretty much hook it right to a shackle point there. And what it does is it actually pulls the truck down and onto it, and it digs into the ground. These are great, great piece of equipment. I highly recommend them. These were custom made. I had a friend of mine make these, but they are so worth it. Between this and a micro lock in the truck and your emergency brake set, you should not have any anchorability issues when it comes to winching and doing recovery work. Next thing I like to have is a couple cones in the event I'm working around a blind turn or something. Just pretty much give people warning on the roadway that there's something coming up that they can't see. Ideally, I am not sure, I have to look up to it, but you want to have somewhere between 6 to 8 cones. I forget what the actual correct way, correct format is to how many cones you should have over a certain distance, and so on and so forth. You should be able to find that on the National Highway Safety Registry. They should be able to answer that, but I always have cones with me. Even if I'm on the side of the road and I'm changing a tire, I lay them out so that people don't come into my work zone. Over here, I got my basic jump pack. This is a Napa, a Carlisle 550. In addition to this, I also have jumper cables rigged to my battery, which I just connect my cables to it, and I don't have to pop the hood open or anything. I got those wrapped up. I didn't feel like unwrapping them. Over here we got my lockout kit. I tend to keep the wedges in here with the airbag. This little device here is for those vehicles that have a pop-up lock that you can just grab to with this little rope to pull it up. And then I got my regular lockout bar there. So in addition to that, I got my impact guns here. I got a 3/8, a 1/2 inch, and a flashlight. These are all Milwaukee's. One of the best guns that I use. I used to use a snap-on one, but to be honest with you, it's not nearly as possible, and the batteries on the Milwaukee last a lot longer. I like to carry about 3 to 4 batteries, because sometimes I forget to charge these things, and it's always nice to have extra batteries in stock. So those are the things that I usually use for tire changes. And in this toolbox, I tend to keep, a rubber mallet for those wheels that are stuck to the hub, a bunch of different sockets. Of course, the most common ones are 17, 18, 19, 21, and a 22. And most of you are wondering why I carry an 18, and it's for those Chrysler lug nuts that the covers like to come off, and it goes from a 19 to an 18. And I carry, a bunch of other bigger sizes as well. In the event I have to take the lug nuts off on my tow truck, I like to be able to. in here, you know, I'll just keep some miscellaneous, you know, flathead screwdrivers for those cars that you need to pop into neutral. I've also got driveline wrenches in here, 5/16, 8 millimeters, 7/16. In the event I got to drop a driveline. Zip ties for those accidents that you come across, and the bumpers are somewhat ripped off but not completely ripped off. I use them to zip tie them. These are a lifesaver. You can use these for so many different applications. I got a measurement tape here for those questionable trucks that are over height. You know, you don't want to be hitting any bridges. It's a quick way to end up on YouTube, social media. You know, tire pressure gauge. You know, down here the same deal. You know, I like to keep, you know, some butt connectors and pliers and electrical tape in the event, you know, I have some issues with my own rig and lights. Over here we got 2 magnetic tow bars. I like to carry 2 because some of you know, you forget to charge one. I like to have one always ready in the event one dies. My wheel lift strap for my Jordan self-loader. We got a floor jack here, 1.5 ton. This floor jack is very capable. I do everything with this. You know, I do up to F350s. It's light, it weighs like 20 pounds, and it fits perfectly in the toolbox. Here I got a few motorcycle straps. Like I said, in the event you need to tie something down, a bumper, a hood, these are good to have. I also have a pair as well that I utilize for my dollies, you know, but I've got those in the truck. Fuel can for your fuel delivery. Back there we got a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit. In the truck I also have a triangle kit. Those are DOT requirements. When you get pulled over by DOT, that is one of the first things they ask you if you have and where you have it. Over here I have a grease gun, and this grease gun, you know, a lot of people wondering why I have a grease gun. I primarily use this to grease my dollies after every use, and I also grease the front end of my truck and all the pivot points on the bed. And you know, I do this when I'm not towing, you know, when I'm waiting for calls. Mind you, grease your equipment. It's, you know, grease is pennies on the dollar, and it's going to prolong the life of your equipment. All right, there's nothing wrong with greasing. And over here you got your typical baseball bat, you know, and it ain't for softball use. It's for those guys that don't want to pay the bill. You know, I keep that in the cab because you just never know when you're going to need it. But you know, that pretty much sums it up. And like I said, in the winter months I tend to carry a few more things, such as snow tire chains. My trash cans are actually filled with salt. One of them is filled with salt and the other one is filled with Speedy Dry. And that's pretty much it, you know, and a shovel as well, especially during the snowy months. But I hope this gives somebody an idea of what they should be carrying. And once again, this is Luis from On-Site Towing, and hit like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.